March Madness 2015. We got an exciting game out of the Midwest region between the number 9 seeded Purdue Boilermakers and the number 8 seeded Cincinnati Bearcats. This is what March Madness is all about. So this game went down to the wire. What an exciting game it was. At halftime, the Boilermakers had a 3-point lead, but then Cincinnati battled back, and it was back and forth. But then in the closing moments of the second half, with just 46 seconds left, Purdue was up 56-49, and Kevin Johnson hit a 3-pointer to make it a 4-point game at 56-52. And then moments later, Troy Caupain hit a layup, and he got the and one, and he hit it, and that made it a 1-point game. Then Hammonds ended up going to the free throw line and hitting 2 free throws for the Boilermakers. Gary Clark hit a layup, and it was back to a 1-point game. Clark ended up getting a rebound, and then there was a turnover by Caupin, and then Oculus missed a free throw, and so then he made the second free throw. He had 2 free throws. He was 1 for 2. Purdue then took a timeout. So they took a timeout. That allowed Cincinnati to draw up a play. They drew up the play, and Troy Caupain ended up taking it to the net with the layup, and that tied this game up at 59 and sent it into overtime. And what an exciting shot it was is when he brought it into the lane, it went off the rim. It spun off the rim. It looked like it wasn't going to go in. Then it hit the backboard, and as time expired, it ended up going in. So quite the exciting drama at the end of the game with that shot especially. So now it's in overtime, back and forth, and then with about 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in overtime, DeBerry ended up hitting a layup to put Cincinnati up by 1. And there's tight defense. We wouldn't see any more scoring until 30 seconds left in overtime. Farad Cobb hit a layup to put the Bearcats up by 3. Then John Octius hit a jumper with 9 seconds left, and it was now a 1-point game with Cincinnati in the lead. And then Octius ended up fouling Copain. He missed the free throw. Vince Edwards gets the rebound. He goes the length of the court. He puts up a tray, and it's no good. He misses from beyond the arch, and this game comes to a close as Cincinnati holds on to win in overtime with a dramatic victory over the Boilermakers. So Cincinnati is moving on to the round of 32 in the Midwest region, where they're going to be playing the winner of Kentucky and Hampton on Saturday, March 21st. And it's more than likely going to be Kentucky, as Kentucky's the number 1 seed, and the number 1 seed has never lost in the March Madness tournament. But as for this game for the Cincinnati Bearcats, their leading scorer was Farad Cobb. He had 14 points and 3 boards. And Karante DeBerry came off the bench. He scored 13 points for Cincinnati. Troy Caupain came up with a huge shot at the end of regulation. They ended up tying it up and sending it into overtime. He had 10 points in the game and 4 assists and 3 boards and a pair of steals. And Gary Clark was just 1 point shy of a double-double. He had 9 points and 12 boards for Cincinnati. So Cincinnati, although they were out-rebounded by Purdue 50-39, they ended up coming away with the victory as they were able to come up with some clutch shooting. They were 40% from beyond the arch, although both teams made 4 3-pointers, but Purdue was just 15% on the trays from downtown, and those missed shots ended up leading to them losing this game. And so Cincinnati advances the final score in this one. 8-seeded Cincinnati 66, 9-seeded Purdue 65.